He was just a boy with a dream, loved by his father, hated by his brothers. He was thrown into a pit, sold as a slave, and locked in prison. But his story did not end there. This is the story of Joseph, a story of betrayal, endurance, faith, and restoration. If you have ever felt abandoned, forgotten, or broken, then this is your story too. Joseph was the son of Jacob, born to him in his old age through Rachel. Jacob loved him more than any of his other sons and made for him a richly ornamented robe, a coat of many colors. This favoritism fueled the jealousy of his brothers, but what made it worse were Joseph's dreams. In one dream, Joseph saw sheaves of grain in the field. His brothers' sheaves bowed to his. In another, the sun, moon, and 11 stars bowed before him. His brothers burned with envy. "Do you intend to reign over us?" they asked in anger. They saw his dream as arrogance. But Joseph was not arrogant. He was chosen. One day, Joseph's father sent him to check on his brothers in the fields. When they saw him from a distance, their hatred boiled over. "Here comes that dreamer," they said. They stripped him of his robe and threw him into a dry cistern. Then, instead of killing him, they sold him to passing traders. For 20 pieces of silver, they handed over their brother, their own flesh and blood. Joseph was taken to Egypt, alone, afraid, but not abandoned. In Egypt, Joseph was sold to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh. The Lord was with Joseph, and he found favor, rising to be in charge of Potiphar's house. But trouble came again. Potiphar's wife tried to seduce Joseph. When he refused her, she falsely accused him. He was thrown into prison. Once again, Joseph was punished for doing what was right. Yet even in the darkness of prison, the light of God's presence did not leave him. While in prison, Joseph met two of Pharaoh's servants. Both had dreams. Joseph interpreted them, and his interpretations came true. 2 more years passed. Then Pharaoh had these troubling dreams that honestly no one could explain. That is when the cupbearer remembered Joseph. Joseph was brought before Pharaoh. Calm and confident, he said, "It is not in me. God will give Pharaoh an answer." Joseph interpreted the dreams, 7 years of plenty followed by 7 years of famine. Impressed, Pharaoh made him second in command over all of Egypt, from prisoner to prime minister in just one day. But Joseph had waited years. Years later, the famine reached Joseph's homeland. His brothers came to Egypt seeking food. They bowed before him, fulfilling the dream. They did not recognize him, but Joseph knew who they were. He had the power to punish, to repay betrayal with pain. But Joseph chose a different path. He wept, he forgave, he said, "Do not be distressed or angry with yourselves. God sent me before you to preserve life." What grace, what strength, what faith. Joseph's life teaches us that destiny is not cancelled by delay. You may feel like your dreams are lost. You may have been betrayed by people you trusted. You may be in a season where nothing makes sense. But Joseph reminds us that God is always working even in the silence. He was with Joseph in the pit. He was with him in the prison, and he was the one who lifted him to the palace. Joseph did not allow bitterness to corrupt his heart. He kept his integrity. He trusted God's timing. And when his moment came, he was ready. The pain did not break him. It built him. Joseph's story is your story. Your pit is not the end. Your prison is not the finish line. Do not let what others meant for harm stop what God meant for good. Hold on to the dream. Stay faithful in the silence. Forgive freely. And when the palace door opens, step in with humility and courage, because the world needs your story. Amen. Subscribe, like, and comment for more life-changing biblical stories.